Show's here! We are so excited for our 1,000th show. We're pretty excited. How you guys doing? Well, that's the right attitude. Have a good time, a few laughs. I've been a comedian for many years. Comedians always like the laughers. You know, some people are just laughers. You know, they laugh out loud, their whole body shakes. You know, everybody stops laughing, they're still laughing, you know. We love those people, you know, because laughter is contagious, you know. And everybody's like that. Some people even enjoy the show. They're just not laughers. They look at it the whole show going, very funny. I am really enjoying myself. Then laugh, for Christ's sake. The worst to come into comedy shows, they laugh like this. I'd be so embarrassed to laugh. I think I'll hold it in. Oh, thanks a lot. Makes my job real easy. If the whole crowd did that, everybody have gas. About halfway through the show, oh my God, come out my rear. I'm really embarrassed now. So laugh. It's a great release, you know? It's very similar to crying in many ways, you know? Nowadays, men cry. I have nothing against that. But let's face it, men don't know how to handle crying like women. My wife says things to me like, you know, Bill, I think I feel the need to cry. You never hear a guy go, you know, Steve, I kind of feel the need to cry. And when women cry, they support each other. Oh, Mary, what's the matter? And they hug each other. A guy cries, we just freak out. Oh, my God, Joe's freaking crying. It's not my fault. He just started crying. I don't know what the hell to do. I am not hugging a son of a bitch. I'll tell you that right now. No way am I touching him while he's crying. Throws us off. And, you know, laughter is an interesting thing. I've been a comedian many years. People hear a comedian, they have funny reactions. Here's the reaction. A comedian, huh? You make any money at that? That's kind of personal thing. No, I'm on welfare, as a matter of fact. I got a few bucks. I could use some help, you know. Here's another one. You don't look like a comedian. I gotta grab my balls out. Is this better? Goofy. What do you want from me? And this getting older really doesn't help you in the business either. You know, you don't see any HBO Ain't Dead Yet comedy special, you know. Guess who's still alive doing a comedy special here? I don't know. But the hardest part sometimes about being a comic is not when I'm performing, it's when I'm not performing. My wife and I were out meeting people just like you all are doing. People go, oh, what do you do for a living? I'm a comedian. Real? A comedian? Guy's a comedian. Could you do a few jokes for us? I've known people for 5 minutes, and they looked at me and said, hey, you know, you're not that funny. Guy says a comedian. You think he's funny? He doesn't any funny. That's not fair. People with other professions. I'm a teacher. Oh, yeah? Could you teach me something? Here's some truck running a board. I want to see if you're any good at this teaching, you know. I'm a truck driver. Here's the keys to my car. Take a little spin. I want to see how you shift this car. Oh, we got a good show. Are you ready for a good show? This is a very funny man coming to stage. I work him all around. He is an actor, funny actor, also a funny comedian. Please welcome to the stage, Bob Sheehy.
Campbell. Thank you. Green line. Hey, how are you? I'd like to talk about child molesters. All right, not really child abductors. And the reason I bring it up is I went to Chuck E. Cheese. I took the grandkids to Chuck E. Cheese. Have you done this? And I'm leaving, and the guy compares the numbers on my hand, the stamp on my hand, to the stamp on the kid's hand. I said, what the hell are you doing? He said, oh, we just want to make sure you don't walk off with any extra kids. I said, you're lucky I'm taking these flipping kids. I'm telling you, this is the problem. You have kids, they grow up, and then they move out. And it's a proud day for you, right? Your son comes, he says, listen, Dad, I think I'm going to move out. I'm going to get my own place. And you're so proud. He's out there, he's working, he's contributing to society. And then you get the call, right? Yeah, Dad, I got to come back. You know, things aren't working out. It's going to be 1-2 months tops. Right? And they swear to you, it's going to be different this time. I'm going to help out around the house. And it's true, there are no dishes in my sink. It's because I keep them all in their rooms. I no longer have to cut my grass. It's not because I cut it, but they do park on it. It's funny because the dish thing, I go out to in the middle of the night, I get up, I go out to get a drink of water, and there is not one cup in the cupboard. I literally have to take the hose out of the sink and drink it down. And they don't come back alone, am I right? They bring people, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a wife, some kids, a dog. One brought a turtle. It's brutal. And my one daughter, she moved back in, her and her husband and 2 kids. She married a guy with the last name Duty. Duty. My little girl is now Mrs. Duty. I hate it, though, because, like, I'll be driving along, and they'll be calling me, and I know they want me to watch the kids. That's the only reason they ever call me. And I look down, and I see them call. I hate to be a bad guy, but I got my own life. And I call it the Call of Duty. And quite honestly, I don't really particularly like the guy. I don't like him that much. I'm hoping it doesn't work out. Is that a terrible thing? Because then she'll be duty-free. Speaking of names, my last name is Sheehy. How's that for a name, huh? I'm just ahead of my time. I was born too early. Because the Sheehys now, the LGBTQ, have all the rights. But when I was a kid, the Sheehys got their butts kicked. That's pretty much how it is. They say the Sheehys get bullied, like cyberbullying online. And it's even worse than bullying in person. I wish I'd known this back in the day, as Bobby Judson was pounding my head on the pavement on Maple Street in Merrimack. I would have been like, dude, just write me a letter. It'll be a whole lot worse. Oh, come on now. That's funny. Enough. So anyway, you people have kids? Do you have kids? No way, she says. Good. That's right. My wife always says we should have had goldfish. You got cats. Nice. All right. So when my wife was pregnant, you know, I hate to say this, women become different people when they get pregnant. Am I right? They're no longer just themselves. They're like them and like 15 or 16 people living in their head. Because they get a little crazy. I used to call my wife my little Sybil. So one day I get a phone call. I'm sitting on the couch eating Cocoa Puffs because this is what I do for work. And I get this phone call. Hello? And this is what I hear on the other end. Who is this? So it turns out she had gone to the doctor, and there was a little problem. And I jumped in the car, and I rushed to be by her side. Not because I'm sensitive or anything. I just don't want to hear about it for the rest of my flipping life. And so I get there, and they tell us that they have to do an ultrasound. And I make the motion of the ultrasound so the ladies in the crowd can back me up on this. I was in the room. This is the motion of the ultrasound. This is how I can prove I was there. And they come out and they say, listen, everything's fine. Except we recommend that you don't have sex for about a month. I said, hey, doc, everything's not fine. Now, when I bring my car into the garage and they're going to keep it for a couple of weeks, I can't use it. They usually give me what they call a loaner. You know, I was wondering if we could work that out here. He actually showed me my right hand. I said, doc, I was thinking about a model with less mileage. You're a tough crowd. So my wife, it's my second marriage. My wife actually said to me, listen, in this marriage, you will be the king of the castle. You will be the lord of the manor. You are in charge. You are the king of the castle. And for years, I ruled quite benevolently. Made no bad rulings until one day she came home and said, listen, I want to get a dog. And I said, well, as the king, I have to say no. That's when she informed me this king title was kind of an honorary thing. I'm kind of like the king of England. I have no real authority. So the bottom line is we got a dog, right? And you know how it is. I said to her, I'm not going to feed the dog. I'm not going to take the dog. I'm not walking the dog. Nothing. I want nothing to do with this dog. You know what happens. The dog, I become the dog's bitch. Seriously. I fall in love with him. So one day, he's a little con dog, though. Like a con man, con dog. One day I'm laying on the couch watching TV, and we've got these sliders in the back of our house that go out to a little fenced-in yard. So we've trained him to scratch on the slider. So I'm laying on the couch, and he walks up and scratches. So he's got to go out. So I get up off the couch, and I walk over, and I open the slider, and I look to see if he's walking by. And he's not there. He has stolen my spot on the couch. So a few hours later, coincidentally, my wife and I were getting a little frisky on the couch, and the dog walks up and scratches on the door. And she says, "I think the dog needs to go out." I said, "I'm not falling for that again." They say dogs take on the characteristics of their owners, and it's true. Because I take that dog to the dog park every day, and all he wants to do is hump the other dogs. They said the way to stop that behavior is to get a little water bottle and you spray it in their face when he's doing it, it'll stop. Didn't really work on the dog, but now my wife keeps a water bottle by the bedside. My wife had a little girl from her first marriage. I mean, she still has her. She didn't kill her or anything. But she's just not as little. And so you know how kids are? She was 5 years old the day of the wedding. You know how kids are when they're nervous? They don't know what to do with their hands. So she comes up to me. She's like, "Bobby, I'm confused." I said, "What's the matter, sweetie?" She said, "Well, I don't know if I should call you Daddy or if I should call you Bobby. I just don't know." I said, "Sweetie, you call me whatever you think is appropriate." That's when she started calling me the fat guy that hangs around on the couch all day. All right, hey, I think I'm going to end right there. I'm going to bring Bill Campbell up.
Sheehy. I want to thank our sponsor, Home Sweet Home New England Real Estate Agency with Allison Ludwig. Give a round of applause. If you're looking to buy or sell a house, you should get her number. It's going to be coming up on the screen, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Oh, here we are! Hey! Rolling along. Bob Sheehy.
Bill Campbell.
So Bob does stand-up. He also does acting.
Yes, sir.
And you just told me you did some job in New York, right?
I did. Well, yeah, I was just there. They just aired
a movie, or?
No, it was a TV show. They just aired it last Sunday, or the Sunday before. I can't remember. For you, what is it? Investigative Discovery Channel fans, the ID channel. It was On the Case with Paul Azan, where I play a murderer. Yeah, I was pretty tough looking. Yeah. What they do is it's a crime reenactment thing. So I was the criminal, and it was awful because they say, "Well, we want the actor to kind of resemble the criminal." And then when I saw the episode, he was 600 pounds if he was an ounce. Oh yeah, I was.
Did they have you wear a pillow or something?
No, I said, "Wow, they think I look like that." Oh, it's awful.
Bob was saying they had him squatting all the time.
Oh, it was awful. So in TV, whenever you see a show, it's amazing. A 30-second commercial takes them 2 days to film. So they have you do it from every angle and different ways. So, you know, I'm not exactly svelte, I guess would be the word. I'm not in the greatest shape. So I walk in. My job was I had to squat down, look in some bureaus, stand up, go squat down, look at another bureau, then stand up and squat down and grab a gun from under the bed. And they shot this scene 28 different ways, 3 or 4 shots each time. By the end of the day, I had done like 400 squats. And then at the end, they had me grabbing some loot and running up some stairs to get out. I crawled to my car, I'm telling you. You think this acting thing is easy? No, I was dying.
And the funny thing is they didn't show any of the squatting.
There's one spot of me taking 2 steps up the stairs.
That's all they
That's
showed.
it. Out of all the squats and all the stairs, yeah, they showed nothing. It's awful.
So how does it work to get something like that? Do you have are you on with some agents?
I do have an agent here in New England or in Boston. It's, New England Model Groups. Model Groups, that's me. But in New York,
different pictures.
Yeah. You got to go for pictures, and they want those up there. In fact, they will contact you and say, "Hey, that headshot's great. Can you send us a selfie right now so we know it's really you? We want to see what you look like today." Because they think within 6 months. Some people will keep that. Like, you remember the comedians back in the day, because it's a lot of money. It's $400 or $500 to sit and have your picture done. So as comics, we would have our picture done. the first week we started comedy, and that would be your picture into if you started at 20, that was your picture at 30. That was still your picture at 40. I mean, there's still pictures floating around.
Ones like that.
Oh yeah, Teddy Bergeron, who's now probably 65 or 70. I think he's got a 26-year-old picture hanging up somewhere that he still sends out. So. Because it's expensive.
I've only done a few of these kind of commercial things like you're describing, but I got offered to do one. The money was good, so I said I'd do anything for money.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I go to do the commercial, and they said, you really don't look like the picture. Sorry, pal. The picture's about 10 years old. That's probably.
Well, that's probably why they have you send a selfie that same day.
I didn't even send a selfie. I sent a comic promo.
Yeah.
So it was I
well,
was much younger.
Yeah. Well, it was before the days of instant messaging, instant media or whatever we call it now. I know.
Now it's like everything's
everything's
selfies.
there. And they want to make sure you haven't gained 10 pounds from that picture to make sure you still look like that. It's just very.
The look is more important than what you say or anything.
The look is everything. The talent. They don't care if you can speak. It's what you look like for the most part.
How many of those have you done commercials?
Oh yeah, I've done commercials, a lot of commercials. I've done. I did a commercial 100 years ago. The first commercial I ever did was for this is pre-internet, obviously. The Together dating service. Do you remember that? That service they used to advertise all over the place, and I played the unemployed angry Cupid. Can you see it? It was a good look for me. I had the
big
wigs.
parts: the criminal, the unemployed guy.
Oh, but in this one, I had the diaper and the wings. I was looking good.
Put that in the promo.
Yeah, it's
picture,
it's
the
online
diaper.
somewhere. I've seen it recently.
I don't know. Acting is different. It just feels so different.
It is. It's very different because as a stand-up, you're in front of people and you tell a joke and they laugh, or they don't, as these people did a couple of times to me. But it's instant, right away. Whereas, you're shooting these things, and you've got 4 or 5 people in a room moving things around, and they got a camera, and they're telling you what to do. And my favorite is, no matter how well it goes, you'll nail it. They go, "Oh, that was beautiful. That was perfect. Okay, let's do it again."
Yeah. 8,000 more times.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess it makes sense, because when they're editing it, if they want to do it from a certain storyline vantage point, they need you at this angle or that angle. I guess that makes sense, but it's painful. It's very painful to go through.
Bob and I have a friend of ours that we both know that does these murder mystery things. Have you ever been to one of those things?
I'm the killer. I've done 5 of them. I've been the killer every one. I'm typecast, Bill.
So you do these things, and you go in, and the friend of ours that we know, he is the cop. And then the other people come in, and you're supposed to sit with the people during their dinner, and you are potential suspects. That the people don't know that, but as it goes through the dinner, But you're supposed to eat dinner with these people like you're coming to you're part of them. And then in the course of the evening, they find out that, you might, and then they have to figure out who did it. But the cop comes in and goes, there was a murder, and so him and I have done some of those.
They're a lot of fun.
And it's fascinating the way that people react. They look at you because they're trying to figure out who did it,
The first night.
He doesn't have a date. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. They do this. So now you have your fake wife, your actress wife with you. But the first night I did that, we sat at a table. It was a fun table, and we had a couple drinks, and we were just laughing and goofing around. And then they found out I was the murderer. I was in on it. This woman was so upset. I thought I had made a new friend. I thought the 4 of us were going to get together, and it turns out it was nothing but lies.
Really?
Which I took as a compliment, which means I'm a fun date.
The people have fun. It's just different. It's a different thing for me. I only done a couple of them.
Yeah, no, it's really hard. In fact, I think every single one I've done 4 or 5, every single one I've done, within 10 minutes, someone has looked at me and said, "You're the killer."
And you're the killer. I've been the killer every time.
I've been the killer every time.
Oh, really?
And you have to say, no, you have to play along. Well, why would I be the killer? You might be the killer, The goal is to throw them off because, you want to be able to, there's a prize for the people who win, like who get the best story.
There's a few tables, and the table that guesses the winner, they get some prizes.
Yeah.
At the end, they all get together. Who do you think did it? And they try and figure. But how the people react is interesting because there's some people that it's all fun, they're drinking, and they don't really care. And other people are like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
They really get into it. I mean, they're looking, that bartender looked funny to me. Someone go talk to him,
One of the clues was a picture, like half a picture, I think it was my ear. And so I had literally 15 people come up with their cell phone, snapping a picture of my ear so they could compare it to the clue. It was like I was going to say mimeograph, but that would show that I'm 140 years old. It was a printed out picture of an ear, and they were comparing it. Oh, there's a line here. The people really, you're right, they really get
some people,
crazy.
Some are just fun, but some, when I did it once, there was one couple, and the guy was trying to have a good time, and his wife was totally into finding out. He was almost getting embarrassed. Come on, it's not that big. Yes, it is. I'm going to find out what it is. I thought she was funny. I said, because I knew the whole story, I'm sitting there going, I don't know if you got that one, Yeah, I think it is. What makes you think that, Like.
Well, it's funny. The last one I did, which was only a couple weeks ago, the woman next to me guessed the whole story. I mean, she goes, I think you did it, and she did that one, and you tried to, and she goes, Dad, so what do you think? I said, oh, you're 100% right. And she goes, oh, now you're just messing with me. Yeah, she didn't believe me. I gave her the whole story.
There was one I did where at the end, they had to say who did it, or they had to come up with the funniest idea.
Yeah, the funniest one. That's a good one, too.
Both of those would get you an award or some kind of prize. So one guy wanted to come up with the funny stuff. Of course, the woman that was heavily into it wasn't buying this. It's not funny. I want to find out. But this guy was pretty funny. And I'm sitting there going, I like this. I'm encouraging him. That's pretty funny. Try another one. I like your thinking there.
You ever tried comedy? You'd be good.
So what's the difference between acting and comedy? What would you say? It's just
acting's a lot easier. I mean, comedy is, comedy, you're throwing yourself right out there. I mean, whatever you wrote, it's all yours. It's who you are. You think it's funny, you throw it out there. And there's a good chance they don't laugh. And that hurts. I mean, nobody likes to be rejected, and that's basically a form of rejection.
I should have been an actor 40 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all,
we're going to wrap it up here, Bob.
All right.
This is Bob Sheehy. A round of applause. Another big show of Campbell's Comedy Corner. I think we're into, I don't know how many shows, too many shows. I want to thank our sponsor, Home Sweet Home New England, Allison Ludwig, best real estate agent in New England. Give a round of applause. This show is probably going to play on every station in America for about 10,000 years, so please don't miss the show. You can see yourselves in the show because the cameras have got pictures of all of you. And you can see, hey, there I am. Thank you, audience. We're done.
We're out. Oh, thank you, sir.